Hi students, welcome to second year accountancy class. In our previous class we have discussed about the causes of depreciation. We have learnt how the depreciation is caused, wear and tear, accidents, obsolescence, reflection of time, then various reasons, various causes of depreciation we have learnt. And now it is clear that for every asset, whether due to wear and tear, due to accidents, due to obsolescence of time, or due to reflection of time, depletion, the asset value will decrease. Now, how the accounting treatment is done, what are the methods we have to provide depreciation, how the depreciation is to be calculated. While writing the examples in a random manner, I have written that 1 lakh worth asset has become 90,000, 90,000 has become 80, 80,000 has become 70,000. But how do we calculate that? Is there any rule for that? Is there any formula to calculate such depreciation? Already you might have gone through some problems. So let us understand the methods of depreciation. So at intermediate level, we have got only two methods. The first one is the fixed installment method. Fixed installment method. Second is diminishing balance method. Okay. So fixed installment method is also known as straight line method. This is also called as straight line method. Or also called as original cost method. So this method has got three names now: fixed installment method, straight line method, or original cost method. Why it is called straight line method? You see, for example, we have got an asset of 1 lakh rupees on which we are providing, say for example on 1/1/2020 or 2018, we have purchased an asset for 1 lakh rupees. Now the company has decided to provide depreciation at the rate of 10%. So every year we calculate like this: 1 lakh into 10 by 100 comes to 10,000. In 2000, that means you know that always depreciation is provided on the last day of the year. Remember this point now. Irrespective of the date of purchase, remember that depreciation is always calculated on the last day of the year. So though you have purchased machinery on 1st January 2018, we provide depreciation on 31/12/2018 at a cost of 1 lakh. Now the firm has decided to provide depreciation at the rate of 10%. So 1 lakh into 10 by 100 comes to 10,000. So second year in 2019 also, as on 31/12/2019 also, we calculate the same: 1 lakh into 10 by 100. What is 1 lakh? Original cost. 1 lakh is original cost. Every year we are calculating depreciation on original cost only. That is why it is also called as original cost method. And you can see here, this is called annual depreciation. What is annual depreciation? The depreciation for the period of 12 months is called as annual depreciation. Remember this one. Depreciation for the period of 12 months is called as annual depreciation. So whenever you are preparing the ledger for any asset, so first of all you have to calculate depreciation for 12 months, then according to the usage you have to calculate the amount, whether it is for 3 months or 4 months, because always the rate is given per annum. So annual depreciation means depreciation for 12 months. So you can see here, in the year 2018 also it is 10,000, 2019 also it is 10,000. It is fixed. That is why it is called fixed installment method. Straight line method. That means because the depreciation is same for all the number of years for which you are preparing ledger. Even if you prepare this ledger for 5 years or 6 years, the depreciation amount remains same. That is why it is also called as straight line method. Depreciation doesn't fluctuate as it remains same. It is called straight line method. As depreciation amount is fixed every year, it is called fixed installment method, and depreciation is always calculated on the original cost of the asset. So it is also named as original cost method. So in the examination, whatever the name they use, you have to apply this formula only. Okay. So remember, in the question, if they have given you the rate and cost value, if they have given the cost value of the asset and rate, annual depreciation is calculated like this, ma. Cost value into rate by 100 will give you the annual depreciation. You can see here, cost value of the asset is 1 lakh, rate is 10%, so 10 by 100 given the 10,000. This is called annual depreciation. Sometimes in the question, maybe for 2 marks or during the 5 marks question also, you may not be given the rate in the question. Instead of giving cost value and rate, they will provide you cost value of the asset, scrap value of the asset, and estimated life of the asset will be given to you. These three will be given to you. So when these three are given in the question, for calculation of annual depreciation, you have to apply this formula. Cost value, that means the amount spent for acquiring the asset. आप वो मशीनरी खरीदने के लिए या फर्नीचर खरीदने के लिए जो पैसे खर्च करें उसको बोलते हैं कॉस्ट वैल्यू. सपोज 98,000 is spent for the asset, 2,000 paid for transportation. You have to club both. So cost value becomes 1 lakh rupees minus scrap value. What is scrap value? When the asset becomes obsolete, means useless, and you sell it for scrap. As you all know the meaning of scrap, useless thing. And for just on weight basis, if you sell it to any scrap vendor, so it be whatever the amount you fetch is called as scrap value. So that will be given in the question. An asset was purchased for 1 lakh in the year 2015. At the end of 10 years, it will fetch you 5,000 rupees as scrap value. So scrap value means whenever the asset becomes useless and you sell it in the market for the scrap, whatever the amount you derive is called as scrap value. So then estimated life of the asset means how many number of years the asset will be useful for you. Okay, what is the productivity life of the asset? How many years it will be in working condition? That also will be given in the question. So cost value minus scrap value by estimated life of the asset is done, you will get annual depreciation. Sometimes in the examination for 2 marks, you may be asked to calculate rate of depreciation also. Rate of depreciation. So once you know annual depreciation and cost value of the asset, you can calculate rate of depreciation. Annual depreciation by cost value of the asset into 100. There are many questions in the textbook, so you practice them. Still any doubt? Maybe we are expecting offline classes from February 1st onwards. We will interact, or you can contact the college management. I can clarify the doubts. So annual depreciation you will calculate according to this formula. After deriving the amount of annual depreciation, already you know cost value. So how to find out the rate of depreciation? Annual depreciation by cost value of the asset into 100. So this is very simple. Once you know, see in fixed installment method, it is very easy to calculate or say prepare the ledger, because once you calculate the amount of depreciation, it remains for all the years. Every year you need not calculate. Okay, that's how fixed installment method is very easy for the students. Okay, only thing is you should know how to multiply and how to subtract. Addition, ledger balancing you should be perfect. Then only depreciation is easy. Otherwise, many students will struggle. Particularly my CEC friends, those who are very poor in mathematics, like calculation, converting the depreciation into months or subtraction. So you cannot by heart a ledger. So you need to calculate. So calculator is not allowed in the examination. The people who don't know 5 table, 10 table, 8 table, then you have to practice. Clear? This year already its depreciation chapter's weightage is 5 plus 5 plus 2, 12 marks. This year it may increase further. Even 3 questions may be given for from this or 2 marks questions may be increased. So the chapter's weightage may go up to 14 marks from depreciation. So focus on this. Very important topic even for your graduation also. Okay. So this is very easy to calculate. I hope you understood the formula and you start implementing. Write down the formula and you do some questions from your textbook. Then you will understand better rather than just listening, because it is a practical subject. Now, what are the advantages of fixed installment method? Okay, any 2 advantages may be given for 2 marks. Any 2 disadvantages also may be given for 2 marks. Theoretically also it is very important. What are the advantages and disadvantages of fixed installment method may be given for 2 marks. Any 2 advantages, not all points. If all are given, it may be 5 marks question. So let us understand what are the advantages of fixed installment method. So it is easy to understand, ma'am. Fixed installment method is very easy to understand. As you know that the formula is very simple. Once it is calculated, okay, done. So every year the student can be posting the same amount of depreciation as I have shown on the board in this example. The student need not calculate again and again. Once it is calculated, it is done. The same amount he will be taking. So it is very easy to understand. The second advantage is asset value can be written off to 0. Means if you go on providing, we can provide depreciation till you get 0 value. 10,000, 10,000 like that. 1 lakh becomes 90, 90 becomes 80, 80 becomes 70 like that. You can provide as many years as possible. So till we get the 0 value, we can continue our ledger. Next, depreciation charge is known. Depreciation charge means the total amount of depreciation provided on a particular asset for certain number of years is known in advance. So for example, this machinery was purchased in the year 2018 and you know every year we are providing 10,000 rupees. Say someone asked you that what is the amount of depreciation for the 5 years. So simply what you can do, 10,000 into 5. So 50,000. So depreciation for the period of 5 years can be told in advance, 50,000. You need not wait for the ledger. It becomes very simple. How we are getting? Annual depreciation into number of years will give you the total amount of depreciation provided for the particular time duration. Clear? Next, suitable for small firms where little amount of machinery is used or say small investment is made on machinery, asset values are very little, okay, very small. Such firms can adopt this method because small firms cannot afford the salaries of financial experts or say senior accountants, etc. So because this fixed installment method is very easy to understand, even the accountants of average knowledge also can do this. So you need not have the services of experts and you don't require much stationery, much infrastructure, services of so many people. So it can be done easily. So that is the reason small firms can adopt this method. Then useful for assets of lesser value. That's what I was telling. Okay. Lesser value means where the asset value is 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. Like that for smaller amounts of assets, fixed installment method calculation is very easy and very useful for the firm. So these are the advantages using the fixed installment method. Then let us understand disadvantages. Disadvantages, pressure on slack years. What do you mean by slack years? The end period. For example, 2018 we have purchased the asset. Say the asset's life is 10 years. So 2028 will be the end year. Na? So from 2026, 27, 28, these are called as slack years. Means the last stage of the machinery. The last stage of the machinery is called as slack years. What happens, in slack years? We will have lot of repairs and maintenance cost for the machinery because it becomes too old as it loses various parts. Okay, it becomes very difficult to maintain that. As you know that many of times you might have seen, experienced your parents or your own bike. As it becomes old, initially we will be getting minor repairs, but as it grows old, then every month we will be getting some or the other repair. So that is what called as repairs and maintenance cost. Repairs and maintenance cost will be very high in the last years. They are called as slack years. So unfortunately, in fixed installment method, as depreciation is provided same for all the years from beginning to end period, so we do not have any such provision to maintain such repairs cost. So that is the reason the last years will have lot of pressure to manage the asset. Next, no provision for replacement. What do you mean by provision? When you keep some amount aside, that money should be used to buy the new asset. But unfortunately, in fixed installment method, whatever the depreciation we are providing on the debit side of P&L account, it is not saved as a reserve. It is just written in the P&L account and the amount is used for any other purpose. Clear? It is not invested anywhere. It is not saved. It is not provided. Provided means keep that amount aside. Don't use it for general purpose. But unfortunately, in fixed installment method, the amount which is written off as a depreciation on the debit side of P&L account is not kept aside. So it is generally used. That means at the end of 8 years or 10 years, when your asset value, when your old asset becomes obsolete and you need to replace it, you do not have any fund. So if you keep this amount aside and you don't use it for other purpose, you can create a fund. But such type of provision is not available in fixed installment method. Then interest loss. So whatever the amount of depreciation you are providing here, if this is invested somewhere else, if this is deposited, like we do in sinking fund method, depreciation fund method, we have got in other methods at CPT level or at graduation, you will learn all those methods. So where the amount of depreciation we have provided, that is deposited somewhere else, that is invested somewhere else. So we get every year interest. That will be useful to acquire the new asset at the end of certain time period. But unfortunately here in fixed installment method, we are not investing this amount. So that is the reason we are losing the interest. Then this method is not useful for long life assets. Like when the asset is carried for 10 years, 12 years, and mostly you know that whenever the factories are expanded, we buy the new machinery, additions are made. In such a case, fixed installment method will not provide you the accurate value of the assets. So these are the disadvantages of fixed installment method.